Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm bringing you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop. Am I, am I the only one looking at this really weird right now? Bear with me for a second. Let me start it off like this. Do you guys remember the little girl wrestler Izzy? You know, the one who used to cosplay as Bailey, Bailey's number one fan. She was in participating in some of the spots and angles with her and Sasha, Mercedes Monet, back in the NXT days in 2015. You know, when she would have been 7 or 8 years old. The one with the bow tie in the hair who looks like she should probably be in a Nick Jr. show or a Disney Channel show. Yeah, that Izzy, right? Well, apparently now she's 18 years old. And don't get it twisted, I've been seeing spots here and there on social media reflecting off of the fact that she's been wrestling on the indie circuit, right? Here and there, I've been seeing posts for about a year or two now noting this. So she took the Jeff Hardy route, good for her. That's not the bad thing. The bad thing comes with this. So like I said, if not, let me repeat myself or state it again, can't remember. She just turned 18 a few weeks ago. Her birthday's May 1st. Right? So she puts out this post right here, which sounds innocent. You can kiss my card. Spent the morning kissing and signing cards for what I presume to be either a card company or a wrestling company or whatever establishment in order to distribute what she is putting out right now as far as his card collection. I'm so excited for all my BFFs to add them to their collection. Now, let me reiterate this one more time. She just turned 18 2 months ago. Okay? Keep that in mind. I didn't even know anything about this post. This person reposted what Izzy posted originally. She said, I know she's 18 now, but it's pretty gross how they're taking advantage of these weirdos now. Which means they were always aware that a majority of her fans were creeps since she was a child. It doesn't sit right with me that her parents made her believe that was okay. Now, we're going to talk about the parents in a little bit because I feel like we should go a little bit deeper into them. But stemming off of this right here, you may be asking yourself, what's really the big deal, Devontae? It's just an 18-year-old girl distributing pictures or collecting cards of her with her lipstick or kissing imprint on all the cards. Is that weird? I mean, that seems pretty normal to me. She's 18 years old. She can sexualize herself if she wants to. Okay, the only part about that weirds me out, right, is that you have people coming on posts and suggesting things like, sounds like, mind you, they're referring to the OP who just wanted to make people aware that this girl that you guys are sexualizing, especially if you're around your 40s and 50s or 30s, she just turned 18 2 months ago, right? Just letting people know that. And the responses she gets are, sounds like jealousy to me. You're mad because you can't do it. That's the kind of responses that she's getting, okay? Now, you may say to yourself once again, what's really the big deal behind that, Devontae? Seriously, okay. Some of these people have deleted some of their posts, but just to illustrate a little bit more broadly as far as the posts that you're seeing, one person whose name I'm not going to reveal because, A, maybe he's innocent, right? You clearly look at his PFP. You can clearly tell his hairline is receding. This is a dude in his 40s, clearly. Maybe he has hair pattern and baldness, you never know. But he looks like he's really, really old. He puts out, nice pic of you. You look good. Devontae, your blowing is completely out of proportion. Okay, fine. Another one. Can we read another one? I think that's fine. OnlyFans win. This is another post from a guy in his PFP that clearly looks like he's probably in his 50s. Devontae, she's 18 now. She can have an OnlyFans. There's nothing wrong with her being 18, having an OnlyFans, and there's a 50-year-old who's infatuated with her. Okay, then how about this post? Couldn't have done this 5 years ago. Any excuse from anybody right there, huh? Anybody? Huh? Any excuse for that? Someone's actively telling an 18-year-old that they couldn't have done all these kissing card collection shits 5 years ago? When she's 13 at that point? No one? Anyone? There was actually even one that was mad creepier than even this one right here. The person ended up deleting this post, although you might be able to find it somewhere in the comment section, because I think I seen someone make a screenshot of it when they said good morning or GM, noting, hey, I always loved you. I want to kiss all over your body. All this fucking weird shit. Mind you, everything that I'm noting, I always loved you, kissing all over your body, all this stuff. Good morning, lovely, or good morning, beautiful. I can speak verbatim. She just turned 18 a few weeks ago. Do you see where I'm going with this right now? This, folks, is called grooming. Can we actively call them pedophiles? Technically, no. And I want to try to keep this as objective. Now, I have my own mindset as a father looking at all this stuff, but just to keep this consistent, keep this subjective, no, you can't necessarily call them pedophiles. Now, I can call these two comments pedophiles. This dude outright saying that he wants to see a picture of her fucking 13 years old. No, I can call him a pedophile. But, and even the other guy who said that, oh, I always wanted to do stuff to you when you were younger. Maybe I'm not speaking verbatim here, but you get the sense, right? My point being is, this is not okay behavior. This is not good behavior. And mind you, these are just posts that I'm looking at right now. There are plenty of more posts that you can look through if you want to. Link is down in the description box below if you like to go along and do stuff like that. I have enough evidence and I have enough confidence to suggest that what we're seeing currently right now is not okay behavior. Straight up. Just like that. But to go a little bit deeper, because now we start talking about the parents. And maybe you have seen her dad around. I'm not too sure about her mom, but her dad, for a fact, I remember seeing on some of those WWE 24/7 documentaries they used to do back in the days. I remember seeing her dad taking her to associate or maybe talk to some of the divas or whatnot. Maybe it wasn't even WWE 24/7. It could have been on YouTube. I can't remember per se. This was a long time ago, right? Long time ago. We're talking about damn near 10 years ago when I was seeing all this. So I know how her dad looks like. But her dad is clearly the wrestling fan, right? Izzy is the tag-along. Her dad is the actual wrestling fan. Or if that's not the case, which I find very hard to believe, because how is a 7 or 8-year-old going to get into NXT? You know what I mean? But I guess technically we can't confirm that her dad is the tag-along. I'm just presuming because, again, a 7 and an 8-year-old getting into NXT on the WWE network at the time, paying subscriptions to watch NXT, to see babe. No, her dad is obviously, but objectively, we don't know that to be the fact. My point being is, though, that guy is very aware of what happens in the wrestling business, or more particular, within the fan spectrum as far as the business is considered, right? Like, as us guys typically do when talking about the women, we sexualize them, right? I would like for this woman to do this. Oh, bring back bra and panties matches. All this stuff. I do the same thing too. I'm not here to speak on a perch or speak from a holier than thou perspective here, right? I do the same thing too because I'm a man in the end of the day. And the women that I'm looking at are of age and have been of age for a long time. My point being is, though, you know how many weirdos are within the wrestling square, within the wrestling sphere, when looking at the men who actually accompany some of those positions in the audience, whether you're on social media, especially if you're on social media, or on the internet in general, or in real life. You know the kind of atmosphere you are putting your daughter into by having her do this. You know what market you're playing to by allowing your daughter to do this. See, I'm not going to take it to the degree as to what the OP took it to by suggesting, for an example, that her parents made her believe that this was okay, right? I can't take it to that degree because I don't know what extent her parents have as far as playing a part into being able to put this out there, right? Now, what I will suggest is if Izzy just turned 18, not even a couple of weeks ago, and considering right now it is July 3rd, one can only presume that she just graduated high school 3 to 4 weeks ago. Meaning she was in school the entire time. Meaning 9 times out of 10, call me crazy, I think she was living with her parents. Possibly living with her parents right now. Meaning that your parents overseeing all of your behavior in regards to your wrestling career and what you aspire to be. I'm not here to chop down a little girl and her dreams and her wanting to be diva in the future, knock yourself out. Go for it. But to go down this path and know that your parents were overseeing all of this, that is something that I call into question. Now, you may be asking yourself, Devontae, why are you calling this into question? Once again, I feel like you're making a mountain out of a molehill. Well, ignore the fact that you just heard the comments that I read for you. And once again, you can go down the thread if you would like to. Immerse yourself in this chaos and debauchery of complete diabolical nonsense as far as watching all these guys sexualize a fucking child, essentially. Pretend as if none of these guys ever existed in the past and was literally looking at a calendar and ticking off the time until she actually hit 18. Ignore the fact that you have people saying, I've always been your biggest fan, and leaving kissy marks while looking 40 years old. Ignore all that for a second, okay? Let's talk about the story of Danielle Cohn. You might recognize her name. You might not recognize her name. I don't know. She was the little girl that did that song, the I Am a Diva, Miss Marilyn Monroe. You guys remember that song like 10 years ago at this point? There was a whole controversy surrounding her and her mom, because her mom allowed her to go out there and sexualize herself. Mind you, that Marilyn Monroe song, when it was happening, that girl had been every bit of, now we know, probably 9 years old. She lied about her age consistently, but even when she lied about her age, it was still concerning. Because when she started to blow up and get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, she lied about her age pretending that she was 2 years younger than what she really was, or 2 years older than what she really was, which was no better, because at the time when she started to blow up and people started to question all this, in reality, she was 14 pretending to be 16, as if 16 is any better. And her mom allowed her to make a spectacle out of this. Her mom allowed her to sexualize herself like this. Her mom allowed her to go out there and wear all kinds of skimpy clothing, tattoos all over the place, piercings all over the place, all this stuff, while you sit there as a fucking mom and allowed her to do that, because in the end of the day, it was for her to bring money and put it inside your pockets. Money being in your pockets mattered more than the well-being of your child. And right now, Danielle Cohn, she is probably every bit of 18 years old, maybe 19. Because, again, she was born in 2006, not 2004. We only know this because I only learned about the situation because former channel, unfortunately, they got terminated because of some political stuff. Lauren Chen, Roman Millennial, she ended up doing a video on this. And she exposed the fact that, hey, people found videos of her stemming from 2012 of her singing and, doing karaoke and whatnot. And she said that she was 6 years old in that video that was uploaded in 2012, meaning she was born in 2006. And then anytime anyone asked her mom for proof, maybe, you can blur all the stuff off of her birth certificate, just show her her birth date, her mom always refused. Because again, she put the well-being of her child below making money. And at what cost now? Because that Danielle Cohn chick, she's irrelevant as fuck right now. And mind you, she's an adult now. Because she has completely sexualized herself for the past 10 years and she's not even 20 yet. But her mom's good. Her mom's fine. I mean, this girl was getting so many comments in her comment section a couple of years ago. And right now, if you look at her comment section, she has so little comments, she can actually answer the comments one by one now. Which, by the way, fucks with her psyche. And she's completely fucked in the head right now as far as how she looks at her current situation compared to where she was previously. Because all of it is worn down. Mind you, she was a child, and I think she had a boyfriend that was actually an adult while she was still technically a child. Now, you may be saying to yourself, Devontae, is it fair to conflate the two? You're goddamn right it's fair to conflate the two. What is different about the situation? You have your young daughter who is going around wrestling in attire. Say what you will. I don't give a fuck. No 16-year-old should be wearing wrestling attire. Wrestling attire is going to be half revealing, off rip. There should be no 16-year-old wrestling in half clothes or half attires in front of grown men at that age. I'm sorry. Call me a prude all you want to. Say, Devontae, you're taking it a little bit too far. I'm sorry. That's just how I look at it, because we know what exists in the wrestling sphere or whatever, or within the wrestling fan base in regards to the man. Just to turn around and obviously play on the psyche of all these perverts to allow them to say things such as, I've always been a big fan of yours, sell your kissy cars, I love you, I want to kiss all over your body, at a girl who just turned 18, then say to themselves, it's fine, she's legal now. Keyword now. Do I know the extent of what her dad or mom have as far as participating in all this nonsense, this gross behavior? Because that's what it is. Grooming is gross behavior. I don't know the extent. But what I do know is that you did oversee her entire career, quote unquote career, and you allowed her, if for nothing else, if not allowed, you enabled her to be okay with posting this. I wonder why. I wonder why. Could it have anything to do with money? Anyone out there? Don't allow your child to be groomed only for you to turn around and then say to yourself, she's only 18. She's 18 now. She's legal. You knew what you were doing, and you allowed it to persist. And for anybody out there who wants to suggest, Devontae, you're looking at this a little bit too broad, I'm sorry. Maybe it's just my instincts kicking in as a father. Would you allow your daughter to put postage of kissy marks on cars and selling her half-naked body to people when she's now 18 and having men comment underneath her page going, I always wanted to have you, I always wanted to kiss all over your body, why didn't you post any of this stuff 5 years ago when you were 13? How would that sit with you? How cool are you with grooming? Expose yourself. I dare you. But let me hear your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to how you feel about the topic. I find this very disturbing. I find this to be incredibly fucking weird. And quite frankly, this should probably be talked about a little bit more deeper inside the wrestling community. As far as letting underage girls being able to go out there and essentially, for all intents and purposes, sell their body for quote unquote entertainment below the age of 18. Because you get sickos in your fan base who inevitably expose themselves and say things such as, I've always been a big fan of you, even though you've been 18 for a couple of weeks. Fucking weirdo. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Millennial Smart, and I'll be catching you guys later. A deuces and a P. Ice.